Hey folks, I'm here to take you through one of our most recent exciting feature updates to the Stack Overflow for Teams product, the ability to add longer form content, articles. Now this is super exciting for us because this is our first ever new content type to be added to the platform, in addition to the Q&A format that we've all grown to love and enjoy. We know that developers and technologists are often searching across multiple tools or pinging colleagues on chat to find information that is quite often either out of date or incomplete. With the ability to now add articles on our platform, we truly believe that we are bringing all formats of knowledge into one place for easy building, searching, and sharing. In addition to this, our platform really helps keep this content relevant and current. And I'd love to sort of jump into the demo to show you how we can not only reactively, but proactively create and share knowledge. So what you're looking at here is a team, Pickles. And as you can see, we normally have questions and answers, right? You will now notice the ability to also add articles along with the Q&A format. So one of the things you'll see when you create an article is we want to give users a sort of nudge in about what kinds of articles to create, right? So you'll see policy documents, how-to guides, announcements, or just a blanket knowledge article. Now this sort of goes into the proactive mode of knowledge sharing that I was mentioning earlier. So you can imagine people wanting to share information with their colleagues, but Q&A could sort of get in the way, right? The format of question and answer may not always apply to all kinds of knowledge that you want to share. Now, in this particular demo, I want to give you an example of, let's say I'm about ready to announce a brand new feature. We just built teleportation and it works, right? This is a pretty big deal. And I've sort of written up the announcement, and maybe you could also imagine a case where maybe you have documents lying around and you want to sort of bring this into Teams so that you can then keep the content relevant and up to date, right? And we'll see that in just a bit. But look how simple this is. I could just copy this, right? I've done all the like formatting and everything. I have this ready to go. And all I need to do is paste it in here, and voila, it's all preserved. Now, one of the big parts of this major release for us is we have updated the editor to be a WYSIWYG, what you see, what you get editor, along with all of the controls normally necessary for content formatting. We also allow for Markdown for any of you out there that love to still sort of create content in the Markdown style, right? So this is a big piece that helps create these documents. As you can imagine, a lot of the people team folks, there will be policy documents. Onboarding is a pretty major use case. You could have different teams that are not as familiar with the Markdown editing to be using this platform, and this new editor sort of helps get that out of the way, right? You can just sort of copy paste and put content in or create it fresh from the ground up. Now let's say I'm going to go ahead and create this. This is a feature announcement. Teleportation is here. Let's just get rid of the additional T's. And I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of tags here. Let's do teleporting. Let's do some sign. Let's say theory. Right? We get these in. And all we need to do is confirm that all your information in here is good to go, and go ahead and save. Now, what you'll notice is I also linked one of the questions in here. So we allow for articles to also embed questions within the content body. So we don't want to really divorce the two types of content, kind of bring it closer together. And what that does is it actually shows any linked questions right here in the right nav, making it super easy for people to jump in, right? So here I linked one of the questions that I had created, and you can imagine there could be others, thus sort of bringing both the content types, articles and questions, closer together. Now, another really nice thing about this new release is you will notice that we updated our feedback mechanism, right? Now the upvote stays, right? So you can sort of mark something as being useful for you, but rather than a downvote, which isn't something that our team's users actually use quite a bit, because remember, these are colleagues that know each other, we've changed this to be about feedback. And this goes back to sort of the keeping content relevant and up to date, right? So users can provide very contextual and direct feedback to the authors and writers of the article, and also provide additional information that will help the content authors sort of go in and fix things, right? Now, this is one of the big things that we really feel will help keep that content current and not just be another doc that someone creates and forgets about, right? This will actually, the people coming and looking at the articles will ensure that the information in there is actually still valid and useful. The other thing I want to call attention to is collections. This was another a feature that we released earlier in the year, and this just became a lot more powerful with the launch of articles. So collections initially were intended to be about grouping questions together across tags, right? So you can imagine, let's say here, I'm going to make a collection for teleportation. All questions and articles related to the feature, right? And the way this is powerful is you can imagine that, so here, this was the question that I had initially created, and there I actually have two things on two articles on this already, right? So I went ahead and added all of this. Now you can imagine a scenario where, let's say you're creating let's go ahead and say this. Let's say we're creating an onboarding checklist, right? And you want to create a collection with everything that a new employee should look at. It could be a group of articles, it could be a group of FAQs, right? And these span multiple tags. It could be something related to an HR policy, people team, it could be something related to finance, it could be something about benefits, right? The collection allows you to bring all of this together in one place. So the big thing that the update to collections along with this release is it actually allows you to group both types of content into one folder, if you will, to make this much easier for people to share and update. With that, I'm going to stop. I think that covers most of everything that we need to see today. Please give it a spin and reach out to our team for any feedback that you may have. Thank you.